Hello, everyone! And welcome to the show. It's a rainy day today, so we're going to keep you warm and cuddly. I'm Paolo del Rosario. Let's get you up to speed with some news that you could use right now.
Hello there, beautiful people. I'm Anne Asis-Carilo. Yes, rain or shine, we are here to make your day extra special with laughter, good vibes, and the best company. Join us in the next hour and a half for stories and conversations that matter. So, today is a rainy day.
Yes, it is.
And ang lamig. It's
Yes.
really cold here in the studio.
Well, I hope so. Kasi sobrang hassle naman kung mainit at maulan, diba?
I know.
I mean, like that's going to be the worst. But we have a nice show today. Unfortunately, Mo's still not with us. She is now still in South Korea. Yesterday, I think she visited the library. I don't think she's ever been in one. But you will take a look. But
Not in a long time, probably.
I don't know.
Yeah,
but
not
then,
in a long time.
I mean, like, it's great to see her enjoying at yung mga food trip nila ni Tam. Iba?
I know.
Ibang
The
level.
food. You know, when you travel, you always look forward to trying different cuisine.
Oo, pero
Diba?
doon, Korean food is just called food.
Food?
Oo, kasi nasa Korea na sila eh. So malamang pagkain lang.
Sige na nga. Ang grabe yung joke mo Kasi yesterday was National Joke Day. Apparently, July 1st. So, medyo I'm
Bakit
expecting
kaya?
some jokes.
Bakit kaya
May
joke
joke ako.
day?
Kasi napansin ko, bitin yung medyas mo. Anong tawag sa medyas na bitin?
Ano?
Medj.
So today we have Coach Russ joining us. He's a motivational
Yes.
speaker and really has impacted a lot of people with his life coaching. Notice how I ignored everything she did. And of course, si Coach V, nandito mamaya, giving us the bare minimum, hindi lang medj.
Yeah, I love Coach V's. I love Coach V's topic
Ano
today.
yung mga nagjo-joke na tuwang-tuwa sa sarili? Ito oh.
Well, I have to laugh at my own joke because you're not laughing.
Tumatawa naman si Alan.
You barely laugh at anyone's jokes
Tumatawa
here.
si Alan!
Oh, I love Alan. Thank you for your support. Di bumabawi yan kahapon kasi sabi niya sasakit to yung kasukasuan ko because I rode a roller
Look.
coaster.
The truth hurts, okay?
But yes, I am excited to talk with first Coach V later kasi she's going to be tackling, settling. Settling for something less than you deserve. So,
Ano ba deserve mo? That's one of the better questions.
you deserve everything.
You
You
deserve
deserve all the
everything.
best.
Yeah, pero minsan you think what you're getting is everything.
Yeah.
Diba?
You know what? You know
Oo.
from that movie, yung that
Sino
wallflower
naman
movie?
dito? Sino naman? But parang may crowd tayo, no? Pero wala naman. Mga 5 tao lang dito sa studio. But of course, we also have Weather HQ later on.
Yeah.
We have a guest to talk about the pet care during the rainy season. Siguro yung mga fish okay lang sila eh, kasi dumadami yung tubig. Pero
You know what? I'm curious. Hindi ba nag-change yung temperature? Like if you're taking care of fish and then the weather changes?
Tanungin ko mamaya, di ba? Kasi
Yeah.
kawawa naman yung mga arwana nyo, di ba? Or yung mga koi.
Or the birds?
Oo.
Di
What
ba?
about the
Are they
birds?
not affected with the weather change, the temperature changes?
Parang,
Because when you talk about pets, it's usually just cats and dogs. And I'm curious about other animals too.
do
Di
you
ba?
have
If
other
you're-
pets apart from cats and dogs?
I used to have pet birds, but
Oo.
our cats would always try to reach for them from the cage. So we just got rid of the birds.
How?
By letting them free.
Pinakain niyo sa mga pusa niya,
Uy,
guys.
grabe, hindi.
Pinakain niyo sa mga pusa
That's
niya.
so true.
Okay.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my
Anyway,
gosh.
guys,
Okay, so
let us move on.
Hit the road, save her birds.
Let us check the situation in major roads at this hour. Here is what's happening along EDSA Quezon Avenue flyover. Already busy on the left side of your screens. You're seeing the vehicles going to Quiapo. Moderate to heavy traffic already building up on that stretch. Now on the opposite lane, right side, vehicles going to Quezon Memorial Circle. We got light to moderate traffic there as well. Now, let's take a look at EDSA White Plains this time. On the left side of your screens are vehicles going to Shaw Boulevard, moderate to heavy traffic on that lane. On the opposite side, right side, vehicles going to Cubao, still free-flowing as of this hour. Now, heads up to motorists. The expanded vehicle number coding scheme is in full swing. It is a Wednesday, so vehicles with license plates ending in 5 and 6 should be off the road right about now until 10 a.m. and again from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. Let's go find out what the weather is going to be like this Wednesday. Paolo has today's forecast from Weather HQ. Take it away, Pao.
Thank you so much, Anne. Let's take a look at the local weather, where the low pressure area, or LPA, that we are monitoring was last spotted 200 kilometers northeast of Casiguran in Aurora, or 235 kilometers east of Echage and Isabela. So it's right over here near the Philippine landmass. Now, according to the Pag-asa, this LPA has a high chance of developing into a tropical cyclone within the next 24 hours. And because it's already near the Philippine landmass, once it intensifies, Pag-asa will immediately issue tropical cyclone wind signals over the eastern parts of northern and central Luzon. Now, at present, this LPA is bringing cloudy skies with scattered rain showers and thunderstorms over the Ilocos region, the Cordillera Administrative Region, Cagayan Valley, Aurora, and Nueva Ecija. Now, this LPA is also enhancing the southwest monsoon, which we saw a while ago coming in from here. Now, this is currently affecting central and southern Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao, so practically the entire country. Areas like Metro Manila and the rest of central Luzon, Calabarzon, Mimaropa, the Bicol region, western Visayas can all expect cloudy weather, occasional rains, and isolated thunderstorms due to the habagat. Now, moderate to heavy rains may trigger flash floods and landslides, especially in mountainous or flood-prone areas. Now, for the rest of the country, partly cloudy skies with isolated rain showers or thunderstorms may occur in the afternoon or in the evening. Now, let's take a look at this because I gotta move over to the side. Pag-asa also spotted a tropical depression located outside the Philippine area of responsibility, approximately 2,660 kilometers east-northeast of extreme northern Luzon. Now, where's northern Luzon? Right there. Now, it is moving northwestward at 15 kilometers per hour, packing maximum sustained winds of 55 kilometers per hour and gusts of up to 70 kilometers per hour. Now, good news, because Pag-asa confirms that this particular weather system will not have a direct impact on the country, once again, right over there. Now, let's take a look at the latest conditions over our coastal waters. Pag-asa has not issued any gale warning as of now, despite the presence of all the weather systems that we mentioned a while ago. However, moderate winds are expected over northern Luzon and the western coastal areas of central and southern Luzon, with wave heights that can reach up to 2 meters. Meanwhile, the rest of Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao will experience light to moderate winds, which may generate waves of up to 1.8 meters. Fisherfolk and marine travelers are advised to remain alert, as the combined effects of the LPA and the southwest monsoon may lead to rougher seas and increased wave heights. Ensuring safety while at sea should always be your top priority. That is it for Weather HQ at the moment, and back to you.
Thank you so much for that weather update, Pao. Now on to our top stories. The plot thickens in the case of 34 missing sabongeros allegedly buried in Taal Lake. Politico.com reports Justice Secretary Boying Remulla is now verifying a revelation of a certain alias Totoy. The whistleblower alleges the involvement of a senator known for conducting outreach programs, as well as 2 other congressmen who supposedly fund e-sabong operations. Remulla confirmed that aside from an alpha female celebrity tagged in the case, other high-profile individuals are possibly involved.
More than that, marami pa. There are others.
Iba pang artista?
Basta, there are others.
The Department of Justice is continuously working to build up a strong case against the high-profile suspects, especially as alias Totoy also said the supposed mastermind is capable of swaying halls of power, including the Supreme Court. Meantime, the Philippine National Police is also conducting an internal investigation into the 20 police officers mentioned by the DOJ witness. However, it struggles to build up a case due to lack of evidence.
Not for sale. Former President Rodrigo Duterte is not selling his house in Davao City. That's according to his son, Davao City 1st District Representative Paolo Duterte. Pulong says his father is unwilling to let go of his property in Doña Luisa Village because of its sentimental value. This comes after an image of the Duterte house with a tarpaulin that says "not for sale" made the rounds online over the weekend. Representative Duterte also clarifies this is a different property from what Hanlet Abencena, FPRRD's longtime partner, says she is planning to sell.
Muna na yung pinakaunan yung balay, si Hanilet na muna pagaling yung balay, dako daw. Sa pagkakaroon, ang among inahan, si mama namo, ni sultir yun na pohon, o kaluyan sa Ginoo makagawa siya, dito na sa papuyon sa balay namo.
ML Party List Representative Laila De Lima says she has forgiven many people who have wronged her, except former President Rodrigo Duterte. This comes after a Muntinlupa court reaffirmed her acquittal in the drug charges filed against her. De Lima tells BNC's On Point she could have applied and been approved for asylum, as her case was clearly political persecution. The former senator and Justice Secretary stayed in detention for 2,454 days during her trial.
Yes, the principal, the foremost principal, my chief oppressor, no other than the former president. I've been saying that. I have already forgiven the rest, all of them, including the former Secretary of Justice. I've forgiven him already. And all those who aided, those who acted as handlers of these witnesses, and especially those witnesses, every one of them I've forgiven already, even though most of them did not ask for forgiveness. Only about 2 or 3 of them asked for forgiveness. But the president, the former president, not yet. I'm not ready to do that.
In the weeks since Vice President Sara Duterte started trading jobs with Malacanang, Palace Press Officer Claire Castro has one question. Where is the evidence of the VP's work?
Ayon na rin sa RA 6713, public office is a public trust. So dapat ipalam ano ang naging magandang resulta sa pagtatrabaho. Kung walang mai-report, baka walang natrabaho.
In June, VP Sara admits that her trips to Australia and Malaysia were personal and used personal funds, and so she had no responsibility to disclose information. She also added that she isn't the one hiding from issues. It's the administration.
That is political scapegoating. Yung wala kang ginagawa, so magtuturo ka na lang ng ibang tao para makalimutan yung kawalan ng proyekto, kawalan ng programa, kawalan ng kaayusan sa ating bansa.
To which Yusek Castro replied that it was the VP who said she was on official business and so is bound to official functions.
Ang kakulangan po sa kaalaman sa batas, sa ethical standards ay hindi po maikukubli sa pagmumura o pang-iinsulto. Simple lang naman po. Bakasyon o trabaho. Siya naman po ang nagbanggit na nagtatrabaho. Not on a holiday. So kapag nagtrabaho, dala ang posisyon, dala ang bandera ng Pilipinas, may official function.
Incumbent House Speaker Martin Romualdez remains the frontrunner in the race for leadership in the 20th Congress. Based on latest data, over 280 lawmakers, including Ako Bicol Party List Representative Alfredo Garbin, have already signed a manifesto of support backing his speakership.
We are certain that supermajority of the incoming 20th Congress supports Speaker Martin Romualdez. And I've been interviewed several times, even at the exception of the 20th Congress. During the oath-taking pa lang at proclamation ng mga members ng 20th Congress, nakita ko yung malakas na suporta talaga kay Speaker Martin Romualdez. And all major political parties, including ours, the Party List Coalition, I think 57 or 58 of us are supportive of the Speaker Martin Romualdez.
Garbin also expressed hope that the new Congress will address key issues, including the impeachment of Vice President Sara Duterte and the opening of bicameral budget deliberations to the public for greater transparency. The 20th Congress will convene on July 28, the same day as the 4th State of the Nation address.
From cleaning up the city streets, Manila Mayor Isko Moreno is now cleaning up the city's books, calling out the previous city administration for alleged fiscal mismanagement. In a State of the City address, Moreno says that Manila is over 10 billion pesos in debt, including unpaid obligations for waste management, medicine, office supplies, and other essentials. The former presidential candidate didn't hold back, slamming his predecessor and former governance partner, Honey Lacuna, for what he described as, quote, fiscal recklessness. Moreno also accused 3 former city officials of pocketing billions.
Magkano ang utang natin o babayaran natin sa basura? 950 million. So, lumalabas, dala ng pagkakataon, ipinagpatunay ng sitwasyon kung sino ang tapat at totoo.
Because of the city's financial woes, Moreno announced a temporary reduction in senior citizen allowances, which were doubled under the previous administration.
The Immigration Bureau says a system update caused the temporary delay that inconvenienced travelers at the NAIA Terminal 3 just after midnight on Tuesday. The BI says the update was part of preparations for the implementation of a 14-day visa-free entry for tourists from Taiwan, which took effect that same day. This follows the Taiwanese government's one-year extension of a similar visa-free entry scheme for Filipino tourists. The Immigration Bureau also says the system upgrade had minimal impact on operations and was completed during off-peak hours. The Manila Economic and Cultural Office had earlier issued an advisory on the temporary delay.
Wala pong naging aberya during this period. Nakita po natin na naging smooth naman ang operations natin. Tinigil lang po natin bahagya upang i-accommodate itong bagong-bagong launch na visa-free entry ng mga Taiwanese nationals.
A private hospital in Ortigas is boasting of a 4-hour promised wait time in their emergency care unit. With streamlined processing, separate areas for different kinds of emergencies, and dedicated emergency unit staff, they've taken the usual 8 to 12-hour wait to just 4.
It really requires all the doctors to collaborate with the ER, right? It really requires doctor-led triage. It really requires having access to streamlined processing around lab tests and radiology tests. So X-rays and CTs have to also happen more quickly, right? It really requires you to have the beds available, to have the space available. And if all those things work together, then you can successfully achieve a 4-hour waiting time. But they literally have to all come together in one way. Otherwise, it's very, very difficult.
The expanded emergency care unit can now be found in all branches of this hospital, and they say they're ready to collaborate with the government to fix up emergency rooms. Being an emergency doctor himself, Health Secretary Ted Herbosa is eager to replicate the system in all DOH hospitals.
They declared publicly that they will be, if you have an emergency, your processing time from the entry to the door to the rooms is 4 hours, and they have an average now of 3 hours 49 minutes. I'm thinking I should impose the same kasi Filipino pa rin yan eh. We should give them the best health emergency care possible. So I can impose that in the 87 DOH hospitals.
Congress is considering a bill proposing a 1,000 peso monthly allowance to all students. In the bill proposed by Batangas Congressman Leandro Legarda Leviste, all students from kinder to college are entitled to the allowance, as long as they are present for more than 80% of their classes every month, or as decided by DepEd and CHED. The bill proposes using digital cash transfer to distribute the allowance and giving it to parents or legal guardians of students below the age of 18. Leviste also stressed that the government should not take funds from existing programs to fund the allowance.
Kahit na mangutang pa ang ating bansa, para palakihin pa ang suporta para sa edukasyon dahil ang mga estudyante ngayon ang mga magbabayad naman po ng buwis sa mga darating na mga taon.
President Bongbong Marcos led the bell ringing ceremony to launch the Capital Markets Proficiency Promotion Act, or CMEPA, a historic first for the Philippine market.
To ensure the successful implementation of this reform, I direct the Securities and Exchange Commission to streamline its procedures, remove bureaucratic bottlenecks, reduce transaction costs within its control.
The new law is part of the government's efforts to improve the country's ranking in the international business scene, in line with the Ease of Doing Business Act of 2018. According to the president in the Philippine Stock Exchange, the country must adapt to the changing times to stay competitive.
In world news, the U.S. Senate passes President Donald Trump's Big Beautiful Bill. The bill, tagged as the biggest tax break for billionaires ever seen, is now headed to the House of Representatives for final approval. The Republican-controlled Senate passed the bill in a narrow margin Tuesday. The bill aims to slash funds from Medicaid, reduce social safety net programs, and boost military and immigration enforcement programs, while adding trillions to national debt. Only 3 Republican senators joined the Democrats in voting against the package. Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer said this vote will haunt their Republican colleagues for years to come, as tens of millions lose jobs and health insurance. The vote in the House Wednesday is also likely to be closely tied. Former U.S. Vice President and presidential candidate Kamala Harris on X voiced out her frustration. She wrote, and I quote, "Senate Republicans are doing all of this and more, hurting working people across our nation in order to pay for $1 trillion in tax cuts for billionaires."
Moving on to sports, Filipino tennis phenom Alex Ayala earns the respect of fans after her main draw debut at Wimbledon. The women's world number 56 faced defending women's singles champion Barbora Krejcikova in her debut on center court Tuesday. Alex put up a fight, even winning the first frame 6-3. But Krejcikova showed her championship poise and rallied back to win in 3 sets, 6-2 and 6-1. In a post-match interview, the reigning Wimbledon queen praised Alex, saying she's part of the next generation and has a promising future ahead.
I would like to start with giving the credit to Alex. What the hell she played in the first set. She was smashing the ball and she was cleaning the lines and all that. So, wow, it's a next generation coming. That she's gonna come up and she's gonna be really good in a couple of years. So, first of all, big credit to her.
Meanwhile, a shock exit at Wimbledon as women's world number 2 Coco Gauff was sent packing after round 1. World number 42 Diana Yastremska from Ukraine overpowered the French Open champ in straight sets. Coco Gauff struggles to keep up with the Ukrainians' hard-hitting style on grass. Yastremska will next face Russia's Anastasia Zakharova. Now, over on the men's side, all too easy for world number 1 Yannick Sinner as he cruises to the next round. Sinner effortlessly defeated fellow Italian Luca Nardi in 3 sets despite the intense heat in the grass court classic. The Italian is back on the Grand Slam stage for the first time since losing to reigning Wimbledon king Carlos Alcaraz in the French Open final last month. Up next for Sinner is Australia's Alexander Vukic. And over in the NBA, victory just got even sweeter for OKC main man Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, secured the bag after leading the Thunder to its first ever NBA title. ESPN reports SGA has agreed to a 4-year, $285 million super maximum contract extension with the Thunder, locking him in through the 2030 to 2031 season. That makes it the richest annual salary for a player in league history. It has been a huge season for Shai, who not only delivered a championship, but also took home the regular season MVP and Finals MVP honors.
Now in entertainment, Glenn Powell gets a run for his money in this remake of The Running Man. This reimagining of the original film from 1987, starring Arnold Schwarzenegger, is adapted from Stephen King's novel of the same name. Glenn Powell's Ben Richards signs up for a deadly TV show where he has to survive being hunted by assassins for 30 days. Directed by Edgar Wright and also featuring Michael Cera and Josh Brolin, the film starts running in theaters this November. Boy group AHOP, featuring Filipino singer JL Gaspar, officially debuted in the K-pop scene with their first extended play titled Who We Are. The 6-track EP featuring the lead single Rendezvous was co-composed by El Capitan, known for working with BTS and IU, among others. AHOP, short for All-Time Hall of Famer, was formed through the SBS reality show Universe League and includes 9 multinational members from a pool of 42 contestants. JL, who previously debuted in a P-pop group, joins a rising number of Filipino artists making waves in the K-pop industry. Hooray for Filipino talent hitting the world stage.
Ever since Sandara. Back in the day, all right, nung generation
Is
po
Sandara
namin.
ba like Pinoy?
Well, she
Or
practically is
parang-
because she
yeah,
came
because
from here, right?
she started here with her showbiz career, right?
We all remember her very, very first song here. Are you in and out?
Yeah,
Mga
are
ganon.
you in or out?
Yeah, exactly. And then later on, she made waves in Korea. And a great move, by the way, to go there. And right now, dumadami na yung mga Pinoy following, Filipinos in the K-pop industry. JL being the latest one, of course. And there have been a few girls as well who have starred in
So hooray
different,
for P-pop, which is
and
really
K-pop,
big
yeah.
now, and K-pop, right? And speaking of K-pop, since we mentioned El Capitan, who worked with BTS as well.
Oh, they're back.
BTS Army,
back.
they are super happy
They are
because they
back.
are back
Yeah.
with a vengeance.
Oh my gosh. I could only imagine when their world tour announcement happens again, if and when it happens. First
oh my
of
goodness,
all,
I cannot wait.
yeah, I'm so curious if they're gonna have a Manila stop.
They should.
No, because
wow.
they haven't done it since 2014, I believe. RME, get mad at me. Yeah, so it's been a while, and they've had J-Hope was here.
Oh, yeah.
But we don't know if the BTS will come here as a group again. It's
They
been a while.
should.
Been a while.
Wow, the number of people supporting BTS, right? The Filipino army is just woohoo.
Okay,
so they need to make
how
a
much we
Manila
love
stop.
this topic. We love this topic so much that our prod actually said Anne, stop. We have to move on.
She might dance.
No, she will.
So anyway, we are moving on. Up ahead, when life gives you lemons, you make lemonade. And our guest this morning made a whole lemonade stand. Life coach Russ Juson tells us his awe-inspiring life story after the break. It's a beautiful day. We'll be right back. And welcome back. You're still watching It's a Beautiful Day. Our guest this morning turned his life full 360. He started out as a janitor and climbed his way up. Now a life coach, Russ Juson does not claim there is a hack to winning life, but changing your frame of mind makes all the difference. Let's talk life and money with Coach Russ live in the studio. It's a beautiful day, Coach. Good morning. Welcome to the show.
Good morning, and thank you for having me here. Indeed, it's always a beautiful day, even if it's not.
Tama yan, actually.
Oh, yes, actually. It's all about mindset,
Yeah,
diba?
because life happens to us, but the question here is, what and how we deal with it.
Yeah. How do you
In the end,
react?
do I get victimized or I have a choice to make this something that I can be excited about?
Yeah.
There's always opportunity every time we perceive something that is problem or struggle.
Right.
Always opportunity to step up and rise up.
You know, with that intro that we mentioned, you were a janitor
Yeah.
before, and then you rose from that situation. Kind of reminds me of that Drake song. Started from the bottom, now we're here. But anyway, Coach, bakit ka ganyan lagi mag-react sa akin? But Coach, you have an amazing story. So can you fill us in on how you were able to flip the script of your life?
Right. I feel so blessed because I grew up with everything that's disadvantage in my life. Feeling bobo, not smart enough, repeater in grade school, really ugly, dark, fat boy. And I think in the 70s when you grow up, pag hiwalay yung parents mo, talagang weird, no? Unlike right now, pag hindi hiwalay parents mo, parang
It's normal.
it's normal.
Yeah.
No? So I have all of those disadvantage, and therefore I finished school with the worst grades, and then nobody wanted to, accept me in work. So not even the fast food chain in Davao City.
Yeah.
So the first job that was available for me was that of a janitor / promodizer.
Okay.
And the great thing around it is I met not a boss, not a manager, but 1993, for it to hear a word mentor was not even something that's really something new. So he was
Yeah.
a mentor to me, and he introduced to me the power of personal development.
Okay.
And sabi ko nga, pag pinanganak kang pangit, kasalanan ng magulang mo yan. Pero pag namatay kang pangit, kasalanan mo na yan. The same thing, pag pinanganak kang mahirap, kasalanan magulang mo yan, kasi pasa-pasa yan eh. Pero pag namatay kang mahirap, kasalanan mo yan. So,
Yeah.
therefore, personal development was introduced to me at age 21. So I started from a janitor, promodizer, salesman. Until age 35, I felt I was the most successful human being alive I know for myself, simply because I was able to achieve financial success, all the things, all the dreams, traveling.
Yeah.
But little did I know, it allowed me to get into the most darkest, the emptiest that I felt, and only to realize that every human being carry a lot of pain, carry a lot of trauma, and we tend to project this with people around us.
Yeah.
So the higher I go to the ladder of success, the lower I feel empty, and that created a question in my life. So is there something else that's better? And good thing, I was able to attend, a program that allowed me to recreate, something that was me, that was holding me back, and therefore it was really healing me, healing the child that was wounded. And right now at 54, I feel so blessed. I not only have a financial freedom, I also have the time freedom. But these two are useless, not unless you have fulfillment.
Yeah.
So the fulfillment that I feel right now is I'm able to speak about my story. I'm able to help more people to see their lives differently. And thousands of people right now are, part of the program and also the community that I truly so in love with. It's this year's maybe 1 year anniversary. It's called
Wow.
Ako Naman Muna. It's a movement that everything that's going on in my life is not about the external things, but it's really taking care of me. So if I start to take care of myself, it's self first, not selfish, then I can take care of everyone around me.
Right.
There's so many things I want to touch on first. First off, I want to correct yung script namin. Sabi doon, full 360, you mean full 180. Kasi 360, bumalik lang sa simula eh. And apart from that, you don't look 54. You look younger.
Not at all,
Just to be
yeah.
clear, you don't look older, you look younger. And then the next thing is that I want to touch on the fact that you said na ang dami mong disadvantage sa simula. And you put the word blessing attached to it instead. And then you even mentioned that even when you found success at 35, it still brought you were still in a dark place. So I want to talk about yung disadvantages na yan, and of course yung mga quote-unquote negative, and how you still saw it as a blessing.
It's the same story that I hear from everyone, and people with bash with too much positivity. In the end, I don't know any other solution except the way I changed my mind. So therefore, the mindset of a lot of people right now, especially Filipino, is what we call victim mindset, which means the world happens to me and I cannot do anything around it.
Right.
And therefore, I have to stay there, be poor for the rest of my life, be ugly for the rest of my life. And yes, I have nothing against it. The only question is, do you want to be poor for the rest of your life? Do you want to be ugly for the rest of your life? And if not, there's a new choice. The new choice here is, yes, the world happens to me. I'm a victim, and what do I do about it? Will I still cry about it? Or nah, I'm gonna use this to my advantage. Durin mo, Paolo, no, had I been born in a, you know, as handsome as you are or as intelligent as you
Actually,
are,
sa magulang
just
ko na yan.
accept it.
Sa magulang ko na yan.
Thank you.
I would not be here sitting down and talking about my story. So great job. No, I mean, even my parents said, "Dad, buti na lang," no, because when I grew up, I feel so insecure. I don't feel any love from people around me, and that now becomes my story. Because at the end of the day, this is my calling. At the end of the day, a lot of people right now are lost, are miserable, stressed in anxiety, in spite of fame and money, simply because, okay, there's a difference between a job. A job is, it pays the bill, but you hate it. A career is, it pays the bill, but you can only do it to some extent, maybe at age, 60? But a calling is something that you find that you can do for the rest of your life, and at the same time, you're willing to do it whether you're paid or not. Plus, it becomes now a message to the world. So right now, my calling is healing myself so I can heal other people. And in return, because of social media, I'm able to monetize it. So, so it becomes now a blessing to me. So had I not experienced all of those, I wouldn't be here talking about my story. That, hey, no matter what's going on in your life, right? Whether it's the deepest, darkest, or the shitest moment of your life, be excited about it, because when you start thinking differently, use this to your advantage, use this to rise up, use this to heal yourself so you can heal other people, then that's where the flip will come in.
Coach, you know, as a life coach, when you talk to your clients, the community that you're helping, what are the most common struggles that you have noticed among them? And nagkakaroon ba ng changes in yung mga problems pagdating sa yung different generation? Like if you have older clients, iba yung problems na, and mga Gen Z, what do they usually struggle with?
From the surface, no, you know, I have a Facebook page. I receive around 300 to 500 messages every day. 90% of the struggle is money.
Money.
So when I am in conversation with them, not one-to-one, but one is to many, money is never about money problem, but it's the wound that you have, that you experience as a little child, that shows up in your money life today. And therefore, when you get to start to understand that and heal that money wounds that came from maybe how you were raised, the things that you see outside, then money problem is no longer a problem, it becomes opportunity. So here's the thing, okay, we have 5 generations right now, I think 6, according to the Alpha generation. In the end, we all have the same struggles, except that the younger generation are just more vocal. The younger generation can just speak out. Why? In my generation, I'm Gen X. Okay?
Same.
Really?
Yes.
As a millennial.
The only reference we have is encyclopedia. Right now, they have 24 hours that they have an option to see. So now they see there's a bigger, better option, and now they can speak out. So in our generation, tahimik ka lang.
Yes.
If you speak out, raise your hand, shut up, you hide. Right now, they have many options, so which means we all have the same issues in life. What are these? We call it humanity issues. Number 1, I feel not good enough. So if you're overworking, you're perfectionist, maybe you got this as a little child wherein you were compared. Okay, so we all have that, by the way. Okay. Number 2, I feel unloved. Most probably, people who were raised not by their parents, OFW kids. How come my neighbor is raising me? How come my lola or yaya? It's not my real parents. So I therefore seek out love from other people, and all of this becomes now a real issue, especially romantic relationship, feeling unloved. No? Yung masyadong ma-issue, high maintenance relationship, alaming laging humihingi ng affirmation. Third is I'm bad, no? Which means these are defiant. Wala namang kailangan makipag-away, pero nakikipag-away, simply because, again, that's a belief system. In the end, these are just the things that we pick up while we were growing up, specifically people who raised us, from the television show that we see, from the environment, from the school, then becomes now a life reality that maybe we can start changing it the moment we start taking a look on how we think.
You know, you mentioned one of the most common problems is money, and which is, to be honest, quite understandable. Pero you mentioned that even nung nagkapera ka, may problema ka pa rin. So it begs the question for me, what about potential clients who actually do have money? Like normally, what do they struggle with when they approach you and look for ways to develop personally, to try and siguro escape that? Kasi minsan sumasukses ka nga, but then it doesn't necessarily fill whatever you want it to fill.
All right. Again, people who do have the money, because I work a lot with entrepreneurs right now, because they are the people who I want to help.
Yeah.
Because I want to see a better Philippines by making sure that we create economy here. And the only way we can create economy here is to empower, again, entrepreneurs. But here's the thing. Those who made it happen, those who made it big, they don't have any intention to make it bigger, even though they have the capacity to make it big, even though they have the market to make it big, simply because the pain of running business is too much. Why? The business cannot run without them. And therefore, what I bring into the table is letting them know that at the end of the day, in the end, why do we want money? Okay, why do we want finances? It's not about the money, but it's really what's behind it. Because we want to be happy, we want to be peaceful, and we want to be playful with our life. And because we are running after money, we forget about the most important things in life.
Yeah.
Now, what if I'm going to give you something to work on that, yes, you still want this and you have a bigger vision, but we have a state what we call ease and flow.
Okay.
What is an ease and flow? An ease and flow really is a state wherein you just live as to the greatness of who you are. And who you are is a creation of a higher power, higher being. I call him God, whatever you call him. And therefore, if you are a creation of higher being, higher God, or maybe you call him a limitless being, and therefore your job here is just to connect to that. So most important part here for the entrepreneurs, I would really suggest to go dig deep inside to who you are, but make sure that you're not just running after profit, but at the end of the day, it's also running after what's real, what's important, which is what I call purpose. So if you live from purpose, right, and I'm guarantee you, profits will just follow.
I wanted to go back to that, what we were talking about a while ago, when you mentioned childhood wounds. So you don't really have money problems, but you have those childhood wounds from the past that are actually causing all these conflict or problems, right? So let's talk about healing those childhood wounds. How do you, kasi parang dumarating ka ba sa point na you are completely healed, or it's a continuous process as you grow older? And how do you approach healing for the different clients that you have, for the different generations, diba?
You are to heal yourself, for me, a lifetime basis. I'm not saying that I'm completely healed, because I'm completely healed, I would have my billions right now, right? So therefore, what's the sign that you are not completely healed? Okay, sometimes you get triggers. Okay, sometimes you get irritated. Sometimes how you want your life to be is not the way it is, and therefore there's a lot of things that you need to start working on. So what are the steps? Again, these are the same generation. It doesn't matter whether you belong to traditional or Gen Alpha, we all are the same human being, and therefore, what are the steps around it? Number one, okay, self-awareness, which means knowing that whatever is going on internal, knowing whatever is going on in your life right now, it's a direct reflection that's going on. Then you need to acknowledge that. So which means if you have somebody, a partner, a husband or wife, and you're fighting, okay, it's never about them or their behavior, but it's about that inner child that's going on for you. Okay. So therefore, if we're speaking about money, maybe the pain that you see growing up was coming from money. So I did not come from a poor family. Okay, I come from a good family, except the fight that was going on at home was all about money, money. And so therefore, when I started earning a lot of money, I tend to throw it away. I tend to go to a space wherein alam kong mawawala to, alam kong may scam to. And I was looking at why, what's going on? I'm not as stupid as I can be, but how come this is going on? Then I start tracing back, okay, how was it growing up? All right, the source of conflict at home was money. So how do I now repair it? How do I look at it? So number one, recognize where did it come from. Number two, energetically take it off from your system. So we have a process. It's a closed-side process wherein we bring you back to a little child. We allow you to remember mom and dad. How was it growing up in terms of money?
Okay.
And after that, we now start to take a look at on how can we now release, let go, and forgive. So we go through a process of releasing, forgiving, speaking about it energetically. Then we reframe, all right? So that was happening at that time because, again, maybe our parents was just not learned enough around money, and now I have the capacity to do it.
Yeah.
But the most important part, some people just recognize it, but there's no change, there's no transformation because they don't go to the last part, which is what's called rebuild yourself. So which means now I know this is what's going on for me. I have to start changing my verbal conditioning. Which in some people, verbal conditioning is laging kulang ang pera, laging mahirap ang pera, versus money comes to me easily and effortlessly. So if that's your verbal conditioning, you need to start number two, allow yourself to experience it. So which means pag may nakita kang piso, kita mo, ang bilis. So pag may nag-deposit sa'yo ng income, kahit mababa, wow, thank you, mabilis yan. So the moment you start speaking about it, feeling about it, experiencing about it, collecting evidence na talagang money comes to me easily and effortlessly, then that becomes a bigger game. But here's the thing, environment is actually 55% of the transformations, which means you have to surround yourself with people who thinks the same, with people who speaks the same, with people who experience the same, people who will actually start to support you. I would always say transformation begins with number one, verbal conditioning, that's 7%. Okay? Number two, experiences, that you need to start collecting evidences, that you have to prove to yourself that it's true. And 55%, the largest is really community. Largest is really support system that will allow you to be in full alignment with what you want to happen in your life with the community that you're in.
Coach, we're running out of time, but I want to touch on the messaging that you have been giving here. Because you mentioned that you talk to all of these generations, all of them have their own problems or a way of dealing with things, but then the way that you talk, the way that you have a certain system always in place when it comes to doing your work, coaching and talking to people. We've seen pictures of all of these interactions that you've had as well. When you take a look at the message that you're given, how universal is it to the point wherein, maybe some person might take the message differently, but it will still have the impact that you intend sa buhay nila?
Yeah. It's universal in a sense that we are all the same human being. Whether you belong to this generation, we all want to be loved. We all want to feel valued. We all want to be seen. We all want to express. We all have the same dreams. That we all want to help as many people as we can. Except that we are just raised differently. Our generation was like a machine. Sunod ka lang, di ba? We tend to stay longer. But this new generation is now in a generation wherein I feel they're awakened already, wherein we have now come to realize that there's a new earth that's going on right now. It's called the Age of Aquarius, where the Age of Aquarius is all about consciousness, it's all about spirituality, it's all about making a difference. And that's where the Gen Z is coming in.
Right.
And therefore, if we speak their language, we get to embrace them, we get to see them. And I think that's where I want to focus myself right now, is to work with these kids because maaring sila yung magbabago ng Pilipinas.
Yeah.
Right,
Coach,
yes.
just to make sure that dumami yung mga messages mo per day, I know you're at 300 to 400, 500 now. Let's get to 600, guys, okay? So, dumugan nyo lang. Where can they find you, Coach Russ?
I'm active on Facebook page, no? Siyempre, Tito and Tita's Facebook yan. No? It's Transformational Coach Russ. And I read all the messages and I have community. It's all free. Because again, my dream, no? One day, Philippines first world country. Walang mangingibang bayan kasing ekonomiya na dito kasi nagbago ang pananaw ng Pilipino tungkol sa kanyang sarili, dakilang lahi, anak na pinagpala, anak ng Diyos.
Again, with money, without money, go message Coach Russ. Let's get that count to around 600.
1,000 maybe.
Wait
even,
lang,
diba?
small steps muna. We'll get there.
Mindset daw diba? So you focus
oh.
your mind on that. But thank you so much for your time. Such an inspiring, motivating conversation with you. Life Coach Russ Juson, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much for being here. Now, we've got more stories for you after the break. It's a beautiful day. We'll be right back. Don't go away. back. You're still watching It's Beautiful Day. This is Weather HQ. Now, as the rainy season continues to affect many parts of the country, it's not just people who are at risk. Our pets can also suffer from weather-related illnesses and discomfort. Now, to help us understand how to keep our furry companions safe and healthy this season, we're joined via Zoom by Dr. Ray Del Napoles, Division Chief of Animal Care and Disease Control at the Quezon City Veterinary Office. Doc Ray, magandang umaga. It's a beautiful day.
Yes, sir. It's a beautiful day indeed. We have a good sunshine at this time.
Meron na bang sunshine? I can't tell right now. Medyo nasa loob kami ng studio. But Doc Ray, let's start off first with the fact that, okay, rainy season, normally sinasabi natin na kapag tao, you normally get more sick. You have the flu, there are a few weather-related illnesses. Is it also true for our pets? Are they also more susceptible to certain diseases during rainy season?
Well, yes, just like us. One thing we have to understand now, our pets are getting to be like our babies na talaga. So, whatever we go through, they also go through. So, this season, expected natin meron yung mga gastrointestinal disorders, meron yung respiratory infections. Like recently lang, yung 3 cats ko has been acting up soft stool. And then they're vomiting. They got stressed up with the thunderstorms.
My goodness. So when we take a look at, well, first of all, I hope your cats are going to be doing better very soon. But when we talk about yung mga symptoms that this is a certain illness or this is something to at least double check with your local vet when it comes to your pet's health, what are the common symptoms we normally see pop up during this season?
Well, yeah, as I mentioned, kung respiratory infection yan, nandyan yung nagsisneeze, nagka-cough up. Interesting yung coughing ng pets natin kasi it sounds like they're trying to vomit, but they don't, throw up food or anything. They're just trying to clear their airways. So that's the coughing that they can do. So if you notice this and then naging frequent or more than 5 times mo siya narinig within a day, then it is already a symptom. So wag natin siya i-take for granted, dalhin na po natin kagad sa ating vet para po mabigyan kagad ng nararapat na remedies kasi kung hayaan natin yan, it gets worse, mas complicated na po ang situation. So mas difficult na po yung treatment.
Well, Doc, you mentioned that nagiging parang baby nga natin yung mga pets natin, right? Yes. Normally, during rainy season, parents and even some people in general, they suddenly start taking more immune boosters. They start taking mga multivitamins just to fight certain illnesses. Are we at the level already that pets can also take that type of medication to try and boost yung immune system nila, especially during this time?
Yes, as a matter of fact po, ang dami na nating mga supplements available in the market to boost the immune system. Meron tayong mga Ayurvedic treatment na galing India, meron tayong beta-glucans na ginagamit din sa tao. So these are all available. They just need to visit their vets and ask their vets kung ano yung mas maganda or ano yung affordable. Kasi at the end of the day, isa din sa big challenge natin is yung cost of supplements and cost of treatment. So feel free, yun din dapat natin emphasize sa ating mga 4 parents. Feel free to ask your vets, ano yung affordable na supplements para sa alaga natin? Huwag tayong ma-constrained with cost. Huwag natin hindi ko afford, huwag muna. Baka meron pa pong alternative na mas mura.
When we take a look at the vaccinations and the deworming and all the flea and tick prevention, I think that goes without saying. But is there even more further emphasis to have that during the wet season, considering that it could actually be more risk in general?
Yes, this rainy season, we're expecting a sudden spike on coronavirus infection, parvovirus infection. So we have to make it sure na updated ang bakuna natin. Kasi ito yung season na talagang mataas ang prevalence ng ganitong diseases. Other than that, the other diseases, hindi siya ganun ka-frequent. But again, parvo is like 98% fatal sa ating mga alaga.
Wow.
So the only way we can prevent this is to update or to get our pets vaccinated. A lot of pet owners will take this for granted kasi medyo pricey ang 5-in-1,
Yeah.
the 6-in-1. And they would only opt for the rabies and hinihintay nila yung libre natin na bakuna. And I'm thinking na yun lang ang essential. Pero in reality po, hindi lang po ang rabies ang pinaka-importanting bakuna para sa ating fur babies. Nandyan po ang 5-in-1, which is one of the core vaccines po ng ating alaga.
Okay, so ako mapapabook na ako sa vet soon. But then, Doc, let's take a look at the conditions in terms of yung sheltering nila, keeping them safe. Some people prefer to keep their pets outdoors, even during the rainy season. What are the best ways in making sure that they're more safe, healthy, and at home in their own home?
Yeah, as I was saying from the very beginning, they are our babies. So, would we leave our babies outside? So, di ba? Hindi. So, we have to consider, kung hindi natin kayang nasa loob yung alaga natin, we have to think na ano maramdaman ng babies natin when they're exposed to the elements. Nandyan yung lalamigin sila, baka mabasa sila. So, in short, if they're outdoor po, we have to provide provision po na they're safe from the weather po. So, making sure yung beddings nila are dry all throughout. So, elevated. So, kung may kulungan sila or may dog house sila sa labas, we have to make sure it's elevated, mayroon pong beddings, and then secure po yung sides para hindi siya maanggihan or hindi siya maabutan ng ulan. Kasi as I've said, they are our babies, and kung ano yung naramdaman nating discomfort, lamig, ginaw, ganun din po ang mararamdaman po ng alaga na. How much more kung nabasa po sila. And it will take time for them to dry up kasi makapal po yung balahibo nila. And kung hindi yan natutuyo kagad yun, pwede na sila magkaroon ng infection. And one of those can be fungal infection as well.
Yeah, I like how you emphasize sa babies natin sila. Kasi kung kapatid ko po yan, bahalan sila doon eh. So, we always talk about yung fur babies, mga pusa, yung mga aso. But then, let's talk about the other pets, like the birds, the fish. Do they also require special treatment, special care when it comes to the wet season?
Well, the birds in general, so if you're talking of macaws, if you're talking of parrots, they're sensitive. Actually, avian species in general, napaka-sensitive po nila sa fluctuating weather. Yung init, lamig, ulan, mahina yung immune system nila. Madaling dapuan ng respiratory infection. And interestingly, itong mga species na to, yung lungs nila is connected to all parts of the body. So, pagkalanghap nila ng bacteria sa nose, iikot na yan sa buong. Nagiging general infection na siya kagad. Kaya mahirap siyang i-manage in general po ang respiratory infections in avian species. Si fish naman po, sanay sila sa lamig. The water temperature napaka-varying, so hindi natin masyadong concerned. And when you talk of fish medicine, nasa early stage pa lang po tayo dito sa Pilipinas na kaming veterinaryo nangingialam sa health ng fish. Ang mga experts ngayon nasa BIFAR sila, but they have veterinarians na who are specializing on treatment of the diseases ng fish. Pero nakafocus sila dito ngayon sa mga industrial level. So yung mga for the tilapia, for the bangus, for the shrimps, na doon nakatutok. For the ornamentals, meron din. Yung mga nagbe-breed ng mga ornamental fishes natin, meron yung mga retainer ng mga vets who are specializing in making it sure na yung breeding nila of the ornamental fishes are in good conditions. So, on our level naman, for our pets, we have to make it sure po na constant yung temperature. Hindi tayo dapat nagfa-fluctuate. So, mag-invest tayo on our thermostat po sa ating aquariums. And then, the water quality. Pinakamahalaga po sa lahat yan when you are maintaining an aquarium po, the water quality. So every now and then, iti-test natin yung pH, yung nitrates and the nitrites among others. tingnan po natin yan kasi those are bad conditions for our fishes. So, constant cleaning. Pero kung stressful yung weather, I don't recommend constant cleaning of our aquarium.
I understand,
I'd
yeah.
rather invest on a good pumping system, a good filter system na hindi masistress yung alaga natin.
He is Dr. Ray Del Napoles, Division Chief of Animal Care and Disease Control at the Quezon City Veterinary Office, reminding everyone to treat your fur babies like babies and not like your siblings. Maraming salamat po, Doc. We really appreciate you. Thank you so much for coming in this morning.
Thank you very much, and I hope everyone have a nice day.
All right, thank you so much, Doc. Now that is it for Weather HQ at the moment. And back to you.
Thank you, Pao. Now, is today going to be your lucky day or not? Let's go find out from our resident energizer and feng shui master, Hans Kua, in our horoscope of the day. Take it away, Master Hans.
Good morning! It's a beautiful day with me, Master Hans Kua. At ito po ang horoscope for Wednesday, July 2. Para sa mga pinanganak ng Year of the Rat, bantayan ang balikat at batok. Ingat sa stiff neck, lalo na pag natutulog. White at 1. Ox naman tayo, may darating na bagong assignment na challenging pero rewarding. Green at 4. Sa mga Year of Tiger, gamitin mo ang creativity sa bagong work project. Yellow at 7. Sa mga pinanganak ng Year of the Rabbit, iwasan ang matagal na pag-upo. Tayo-tayo rin pag may time. Green at 2. Sa mga Year of the Dragon, ang sipag mo ay mapapansin, tuloy-tuloy lang. Pink at 5. Kay Sik naman tayo, panahon na para magtipid. Disiplina sa gastusin ay kailangan. Save for rainy days. Blue at 8. Ito naman, King of the Horsey, magandang araw para magbenta ng mga lumang gamit online. Silver at 9. Kay Year of the Ship naman tayo, maging malambing kay partner. Ma-appreciate niya yan. Purple at 6. Monkey naman tayo, may matututunang bagong skills na makakatulong sa trabaho. Beige at 3. Rooster naman tayo, posible magkaroon ng bonus o dagdag sahod. Gold at 2. Kay Year of the Dog naman, magandang araw para mag-donate o tumulong. Babalik yan sa'yo. Red at 4. At kay Year of the Pig, kontrolado kontrolin ang iyong paggastos. Keep it up. Green at 8. Paalala lang ito po'y patnubay lamang. Ang tunay na swerte ay nagsisimula sa pagiging totoo. Abangan araw-araw ang horoscope of the day. Dito lang po sa It's a Beautiful Day with me, Master Hans Kua.
Thank you so much, Master Hans Kua. Always looking forward to our horoscope of the day. So magbebenta ka ngayon, Pao. Yun ang horoscope mo.
Guys, kung sino may gusto ng sapatos na size 12, just saying, kailangan ko ng pera. So, no. But then, kailangan ng pera kasi sinabi ni Master Hans, it's a nice time to sell mga lumang gamit.
Sell. Tapos sa akin naman, maglambing sa partner. So maybe biling ko yung sinesell mo kasi size 12, 13 yung asawa ko. So that's my form of lambing.
Sakto.
Diba?
So,
nagko-connect yung horoscope
very cyclical
natin.
siya.
Yes,
so,
yes.
very circular economy tayo. And, circular economy talaga. But then, yes, of course, thank you so much, Master Hans. Really appreciate the energy that you give us
as
every
always.
time. Especially for the horsies out there.
Now, from the stars to the heart, how would you know if you're settling for the bare minimum? Dating Coach V tells us the telltale signs it's time to let go, to get what you truly deserve. Love hacks after the break. It's a beautiful day. We'll be right back.
Right back.
Deserve. you're still watching It's a Beautiful Day. Self-respect means walking away the moment you get less of what you deserve. But how do you know you're already settling for the bare minimum? Dating Coach V tells us on today's Love Hacks. Now, take it away, Coach V.
Love hacks, we got you. No need to be sad.
You're dating someone. He says he loves you but doesn't post you. Stays in a relationship with you but acts single whenever you're not around. And above all, he is still there but makes zero effort. Is that love? Or are you only being given the bare minimum for that relationship to survive? Good morning, loves. It's a beautiful day. Coach V here, your love solution provider, bringing you a brand new way to level up your love life. Welcome to Love Hacks. Anne, will you read today's story for us, please?
Yes, of course. Now, here we go. Hello, I've been in a relationship for almost 4 years. First year was okay, but after that, I started noticing big changes. He won't post me anymore. He won't let me use or even check his phone. He acts single when we aren't together. I'm the only one planning our dates. Wala na siyang kusa para ilabas ako. But I still feel like he loves me somehow. It's just hard not to compare our relationship to others. And maybe I can't leave because he's my childhood friend and my family loves him. I don't know. Help.
Aww. Loves. Actually, psychologists call this relationship drift. It's where one person checks out slowly but never says anything. They just stop showing up and hope that you'll stop asking. So my loves, have you ever had an experience of maybe your friends wherein napapansin nyo, oh, the boyfriend or the girlfriend is only given bare minimum, but then they end up staying? May mga kaibigan tayo minsan na reklamo ng reklamo, he's not doing this, she's not doing this, and yet they're not leaving the relationship. Have you heard of something like that?
Yeah, because sometimes they're still hoping, that things will change eventually. Baka lang it's a slow time in their relationship, and then maybe after that, parang phase lang.
I think yung term na yun sa Tagalog is nagsawa. And then eventually they
drift apart.
The effort's not quite there. Then they're like, oh, well, I'm not leaving. Pero yeah, it's like the effort, I guess yung desire to do something special is not as strong.
Diba? But Pa, we've always wondered, why is it na parang sa simula talaga, the effort is like all out?
Fresh.
But,
syempre.
But when naging kayo na, nababawasan na, is that something that is common towards men in general, or it's very individual pa din?
I don't think it's just men in general. It's like, siguro ang pangit ang analogy ko. It's like the first time in a roller coaster.
Okay.
Like sobrang saya mo. But then, the third or fourth time on that roller coaster, sanay ka na.
Yeah,
like,
you already know all the twists and turns.
You know it's still fun. Pero yung feeling, it won't be the same as the first time you ride it.
It's not a new feeling anymore. And sometimes the excitement is less.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
but
that's
that doesn't
what
mean that your efforts should also lessen, diba, in a relationship.
No, I'm just saying, like, when you're on that roller coaster, yung reaction mo, or at least it's not as
Yun eh. That explains, diba, parang hindi masyado ng exciting.
Like, you still get on it, that's the bare minimum.
Yeah, I mean, kahit na nga ano yung face ko, I still get on the roller coaster.
Okay, no, you almost killed your husband. You almost killed Alvin, okay? Iba yun. Anyway, sorry, go ahead. Ibang kwento na yun.
Okay,
since we're talking about the bare minimum, this is kasi the Gen Z and Millennial term, no? Ang galing talaga ng mga Gen Z and Millennial, laging may term. So, now the question is, how minimum is bare minimum? For example, Anne, I'll ask you, di ba? Understood, habang tumatagal yung relationship, the effort, the energy goes down a little bit, yes, because you know each other. But how low is low maintenance for you?
Bilang Gen X.
Bilang Gen X. Talk as Gen X.
I feel like your partner should be giving you the same amount of effort. Kung ano yung what I show my partner, I expect the same in return.
So tatapatan mo lang dapat
Yeah.
yung effort ng partner mo.
Yeah, or kasi syempre girls, you know, as women, we want our partners to show more, di ba?
Yes, and you know what, Anne? It was actually showed in science na relationship is stronger and it lasts longer when a man loves the woman a little bit more.
Yeah.
Than we love them.
Diba? And as women, kasi
Violent reaction?
parang I feel like most women prefer na mas may effort from the guys.
How do you feel about, Pao, are you okay if you know, if you love MJ a little bit more than she loves you?
Yeah, no problem. Actually, come on, pa-move nga. No,
Pwede patingin ng leading lady dyan.
No, kasi ganito yun, alright? Hi,
Ayan,
MJ. When you
hi.
take a look at para sa akin, when you take a look at yung mga effort and when you take a look at, I guess, feelings, hindi lang siya straight line, diba? Minsan may aangat, minsan, no, it depende kung saan ka sa, you know, where you are in life at a certain moment. Diba? Minsan feeling mo na, kailangan kumapit talaga ng, you know, with more effort, with more, but then sometimes your partner feels that way. Depende kung what's happening in their life. So I don't think na kailangan siya consistently one person loves the other one more. But I don't think it's bad rin when someone loves the other one more for a certain period of time.
Yes. Gets naman to, may mga time talaga wherein your Superman is not Superman that day because maybe they're going through something. No?
Parang kung
Then you
super
need to
dog lang
step
sila.
up. All right. Well, let's talk to the person who posted this concern. Well, we can see, we hear you. You love the guy. But what you are describing is not a relationship. It's emotional squatter's rights. He's not paying rent. He's just occupying space. Pero wait lang before we beat the naman, let's give him some benefit of the doubt. What if he's not toxic? Maybe he's just low maintenance kind of guy. Di ba may mga guy na ganon, yung hindi masyado showy, tahimik lang, pero mahal ka pa din. But you know what? Low maintenance is not also an excuse for no maintenance. Parang magkaiba yun. So if you're constantly feeling invisible, neglected, or unappreciated, that's not chill energy. That's a slow fade with a polite face. Ito nga, some unpopular opinion. Yes, he might still love you, but here's the hard pill, my love. If ikaw na lang ang lumalaban, love life pa ba ang tawag dyan? Or is that already martyrdom? You're not just being dramatic. You're not asking for too much. You're just waking up to the fact that you are over-functioning as a lady in a relationship where he stopped emotionally attending months ago. But if only the reason you're staying, it's because, sabi niya nga, it's not that bad, we're friends, then you're already settling, my love, for the bare minimum. Do you have any advice for our letter sender or the one who wrote that Reddit post?
Yeah, I don't think low maintenance guy, and I think that you should break up. Kasi, no, may dahilan ako.
Agad?
May dahilan
Sige,
ako.
go.
No, may dahilan ako kasi
Okay, let's hear it.
When we were reading the letter, sabi niya nung year 1, may effort, then biglang nawawala. Okay. So unless that effort comes back consistently, wag na. Diba 4 years na yun eh.
Hindi naman. I
Makes
feel,
sense, right?
Yeah, it does make sense. But if I were the girl, I wouldn't, like break up right then and there,
What
di
are you
ba?
gonna do?
Patagalin mo pa.
Hindi, mag-usap kami. I mean, wow, you can talk to him. Reach out to him. Tell him how you feel. Kasi if you're his partner, if he really loves you, he will listen. Di ba? And maybe he just needs that, that conversation to wake him up and make him realize na, oo nga, no, this is what I'm doing na pala. And then if after that conversation, nothing changes, then that's the time you end things.
Kasi ganito yun Sorry, Coach V.
Okay, go ahead.
Let's bring the letter back up there.
Sige,
Let
go.
us dive into the details kasi may time pa tayo. So
Yes,
let's dive
yes,
into the
good.
details, okay?
Let's bring it
go.
up.
Okay, Coach V,
Sige.
let's move over to the side. Okay, let's go to the details, all right? He won't post me on any of his social media accounts anymore. Nangyari na
Bakit
dati.
kaya? Bakit
Oo.
kaya?
He won't let me borrow his phone or even have a peek on
Alam mo
his
yan,
messenger.
not letting you borrow
Tinatago.
his phone, that's already a red flag, ha?
Oh, eto talaga. So go
Okay,
ahead,
go.
my love. Go
But
ahead.
I would still want to confront him about
confront
the
him.
situation. Yeah.
Yeah.
Talk to the guy.
Pero guys, ito yung pinaka nakakatakot.
Oo.
He acts single,
Ayun,
when we're not together.
How do you act single?
When we are not together.
Anong explanation ng how do you act single?
Baka
You don't acknowledge yung partner mo.
Yes.
You don't hold her hand?
No,
ganon?
when you're not together. So you don't acknowledge your partner.
Okay,
Yes.
okay.
Oo. So sorry kasi nakasulit na sa babae. Is this, wait lang, ayan. Is this bare minimum or am I
Just
am I
OA.
just OA?
She's not
Ako,
OA.
OA kasi ako eh. Kaya, kaya I'm showing this off. But when you take a look at all the detail, like I said kanina, like baka it might be too far gone.
Alright. Pero yung sinabi naman ni Anne, my loves, maganda yun yung approach yung dalawa i-combine, di ba? You
Yeah.
nudge her,
Talk to him.
you nudge him a little, let
Yeah.
him know this is happening, this is what I'm feeling, give him another chance, one last chance, and then kapag wala talaga, talk to him about it. Sabihin mo lahat ng mga reason kung bakit ka makikipaghiwalay. So, it's fair and just. And you know what, loves? Dating is a lifestyle. If you treated your partner so well at the very beginning, you must continue the treatment. Hindi ibig sabihin dahil nakuha mo na, abay, papabayaan mo na. But that's it for today, loves. This is Coach V giving you real talk about real love. DM me your love dilemmas at Dating Coach V. Pwede din kay Pao at pwede din kay Anne. And let's not just talk about love. Let's solve it. And by the way, this look definitely not bare minimum. Thanks to Le Réveil Atelier for today's OOTD. See you again tomorrow here on It's a Beautiful Day. Love you.
Thank you, Prof.
Bumawi. Grabe naman yung bumawi siya
Prof.
kasi tinawag natin siyang prof yesterday.
Oh, bumawi eh.
wow, yeah.
Sobrang bawi.
Ngayon, estudyante na inaakit ang professor. Just joking.
Sasabihin na ni Coach V, sinong prof mo?
Sino, ha?
Hindi na siya ma'am, madam na.
Madam.
Oo, but then again, Coach V, really
Thank you,
appreciate you
guys.
coming
Yes.
over. Alam mo, I love reading yung mga Reddit posts na yun or yung mga social media posts na yun. But I think we should get mga live guests naman, mga volunteers. Kaya,
we should do that next time.
Message Coach V.
Para
Uy,
they can sit here and, tell us all about their
actually, dalhin nyo rin yung
love
partner nyo.
dilemmas.
Then sasabihin
Oh my God! And make them confront, di ba?
Oh my
Their
God.
problems face
Para
to
magiging
face.
Jerry
I love
Springer
their
vibes
face.
pala tayo, no?
Let's do that!
Kung hindi kayo sigurado kung if you're the father or not, at hanapin na natin yung balance.
O kaya before sila mag-break, punta muna sila dito sa Love Hacks.
O pag-usapan
kasi
muna
malay-
natin.
Pag-usapan
Oo.
muna
Tapos
natin.
mag-break kayo on live TV.
Yes!
Diba? Okay,
grabe
okay.
naman.
That would make for good television. That's what I think.
Tutulungan natin sila magkabalikan at magkaintindihan.
Ayun,
Kayo
importante
naman.
din yun.
Pwede naman. Ito si Pao talaga. Extremes.
Mag-break on live TV.
Oh my gosh, that's so good. Okay, wait, that is it for us this Wednesday, July 2. I am Paolo del Rosario. Thank you so much for joining us. Stay together, guys.
And I'm Anne Asis-Carilo. Make today unforgettable by choosing joy, spreading love and kindness wherever you go, and never settle for less than what you deserve. We'll see you again tomorrow, 7 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. only here on
It's a beautiful day.